The mysteries surrounding the world in which we inhabit, and the unique ways in which we interpret these mysteries, have continuously provided Scotland with a richness of tradition and culture. Despite rapid advances in science and a more concise knowledge of how our world works, Scottish culture is still full of individual beliefs and practices concerning nature and the universe.
Things like growing a round tree to keep witches away, and these kind of little bits of superstitions are still completely ongoing, even if folk are a bit more kind of sceptical of them overall. It's still quite a popular thing for folk to do. But wild foods have seen a kind of big resurgence, and there's obviously the kind of the big surge in kind of popularity of herbal medicine as well. And these are kind of things that are often allied with kind of traditional cultural things, and therefore kind of the superstitions of plants as well.
It was thought that if somebody fell asleep underneath an elder tree, they'd be whisked away by the fairies. And linked with this is the rowan tree, and the rowan tree would be planted at the front door, again to keep the evil spirits away. And the berries themselves have little 5 points on them, like stars. It's a pentangle shape, and that was something, again, people thought could be connected with witches and evil spirits. I've got a round tree that I have at the front door that I planted superstitiously because of that tradition. But
I think historically every child has used dog when they've been stung by nettles, and basically they tend to grow next door to nettles. So when you have your sting, you just have to look around and you will see docks growing there. And into the ethnobotany, that's things that are passed down from mother to daughter, father to son, children playing together.
Scotland's natural features are the centre point for a great number of traditional tales, beliefs and remedies, such as this St John's wort. Traditionally seen as being a gift from God to cure ailments, the plant is still used widely today in herbal and natural medicines, particularly in the Scottish Highlands.
Thing to do if we lose a lot of what we call the kind of oral history of plant use, it will disappear forever, and this is a great time to really get mopping up all the last little bits of these kind of traditional knowledge before they disappear. But we've got a way of kind of putting stuff out on the internet and kind of getting a lot of this information out there now, which people just never had before, so it's a great opportunity.
Heading towards another one of our natural environments, Scotland's coastline provides a picturesque base for some of our most cherished and often peculiar traditions. For generations, fishermen have practiced their own superstitions to protect them against the cruel natural force of the sea. Such rituals can still be seen at Portseaton Harbour on Scotland's east coast. Here, local fishermen still take care not to upset century-defined local folklore.
I've been fishing since 1952. I left the school, 15-year-old, and I went away with my father in the fishing boat. So his father was a fisherman, and his father was a fisherman, and his father was a fisherman. We could go back 7 generations of fishermen. First started the sea, we never sailed on a Sunday. Couldn't sail on a Sunday. I mean, I've seen, if the tide was bad, the harbour down at the end there, all the boats, you would take 20 or 30 boats, all crowded round at the end of that pier, all waiting to go out after midnight. Like say Peterhead now. Peterhead's a port that there is, I would say maybe a third of them will not sail on a Sunday. And Peterhead's unique where they have the mission to fishermen, fishermen's mission. The superintendent in the mission, he goes down at the end of the pier on a Sunday night and waves the boat away. That is a tradition that the mission man was always on the pier when you sailed on a Sunday night.
Other traditions popular amongst fishing communities in Scotland include the wearing of the traditional Gansey jumper. Another less common but nonetheless important tradition amongst Portseaton fishermen is the bad luck associated with certain words.
There's a lot of words that he didn't say. I didn't like saying them yet, even though I'm not at the sea. As you say, I'm not superstitious, but I keep on the safe side. But one was a pig. He never mentioned a pig. That was just one that didn't. And you called that a curly-tail. It was a curly-tail, and a rat was another one. A rat was a long tail. And the funny thing about a rat, if a rat got in the boat, that was murder. This jersey, again, I usually have a blue one on, but this one was a weekend jersey. You wore this on a Saturday night. That was your Saturday night go ashore when you went away to Whitby or if you went away fishing some other place. If you went ashore, you went ashore with the coloured jersey on. Whereas most times it was the blue jersey was the working jersey. Okay? But this was a go ashore jersey. And then you see this bit down the middle here, that's a herringbone. That's meant to be the herringbone. And this is the ropes. The arms of the jerseys for how many children they had. If they had 2 children, they had 2 bars across the arms of the jersey. If they had 3, they had 3 bars across the head.
We want to hear from you. ICH Scotland have set up their own easy-to-use wiki site that will be used to document examples of Scotland's cultural heritage. If you can think of any examples of your own, or if you'd like further information on the traditions featured in this video, please log on to www.ichscotlandwiki.org.